You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible.
Let's talk about his childish tweet. Really bad news. The Baltimore house of Elijah Cummings was robbed. Too bad. Even Nikki Haley, his former UN ambassador, said that was unnecessary. Again, Robert, this shows you what kind of person he is. He is childish. He is petty. He's a grown child. And the man has no care, no feelings whatsoever. And so there's no sense in trying to fake the funk. He is who he is. He's a pathetic human being.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, somebody who touts law and order realistically should not be touting the fact at the same time that somebody had their home broken into. Unfortunately, it really would have been an opportunity to talk about the fact that we do have great issues in places like Baltimore and D.C. We do have great issues in the fact that there are homes being broken into all across America. It happens to the very rich, it happens to the very powerful, and it happens especially to the very poor. It's not an opportunity to take jabs and try to score political points. But again, this is nothing new. I've often said that, to Mustafa's earlier point, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And so to that point, we're better served talking about what can we do as a people to alleviate these conditions rather than trying to lay our burdens down at the feet of President Trump. Because if we keep trying to do that just so that we can sleep better at night, we're going to wake up to realize that the nightmare might still be gone.
Well, I'm not trying to lay any of my burdens down at the feet of Trump, Amisha, but what I am telling black folks is, especially black men, don't fall for the okie doke. Folks should be, that was almost a 4% drop in black turnout in 2016. There should not be a single black person who stays at home in 2020. We should have the highest turnout in the history of America for African Americans in 2020. And the whole focus is to say, throw that ignorant man out of the White House. And that's what the focus should be, Amisha.
Agree 100%. What Donald Trump is trying to do and what he tried to do with his statements on Baltimore and his statements on work and the progress across this country for minorities, he is looking at trying to chip away the black male vote. He already knows that black women are in a camp that's never going to move, but he is trying to move black men. And I think that his strategy is very interesting, but it's also the fact that we know that a lot of black males right now aren't necessarily interested in the candidates that we have. That doesn't mean they're going to vote for Trump, but the great fear is that they might not vote at all. So to your point, I definitely want to see black people show up and show out in 2020. All of our policy goals are on the line, and we just really need people to get out.
And again, Mustafa, for me, it is about our agenda, what we care about, our policies. And the bottom line is, but the only way you affect that is if you actually vote. Put people in place who are likely going to advance your agenda. That, to me, should be the focus, and it should be a laser-like focus for folks in cities all across this country, rural as well as inner city. It doesn't matter, East Coast, West, South, Midwest, it doesn't matter.
I agree with you 1,000%. It's real simple. There's a simple formula for this. The first part is make sure that you're registered. The second part is make sure that you have the right ID. The third part is making sure that all the people that you say that you love and that you care about, that you're helping them get to the polls. And the fourth part is making sure that you vote. And it's real simple for me. If you say you love your mama or your auntie or your grandmother or your community and you don't vote, then there's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, I would
all right, folks. Gonna go. Say it again, Robert.
Yeah, no, I just say I think at this point we have to figure out, exactly what we can do as a community to empower ourselves to understand that, look, it's not a straight line to opportunity, and it's not a straight line to justice. And so when you look at what's happened right now with the president and the things that he's done with this tweeting to divide communities, to divide the country, I think that's a problem. But I think that we also have to be better at informing the people in our communities that the things that they see are actually there. Because when you have somebody like Bill de Blasio on stage talking about he's going to heal the lead water crisis across America, when we've got lead water coming out of the pipes here in New York City, there are plenty of people who hear that, get discouraged, and say, you know what, it's hopeless, I'm just going to stay home. So I think we have to acknowledge the hypocrisy on both sides if we're actually going to empower people and embolden people to go out and then vote in spite of the things that have gone wrong.
Well, again, for me, you have a person has to sit down and decide, what do I care about, and which candidates align with what I care about. That's what's most important.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, you heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. We know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the United States and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants. Folks, it's real simple. Now, our good friends at 420 Real Estate, their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. Now, 420 Real Estate has decided to do something special for the Roland Martin Unfiltered family. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500, but right now you can invest in the crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, as little as $200 up to $10,000. Again, this is a $340 billion worldwide industry that is still growing, and you can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.